Good day, good day, good day. Gracia. Gracia.
Hello, how are
Hello.
you?
I'm fine, thank you. So nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
Thank you. Uh, I'm glad you joined the class.
Oh yes, I'm very excited about it.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. I see we've got Todd here. Todd, are you going to let the people in? I didn't know there was a waiting room. Uh, Todd is, okay, so,
Okay.
okay, otherwise we must just do it all myself quickly and let them in. There they are. They're starting to come in from the waiting room. Hello, Mary. Hey, welcome, welcome. Hello, Sherry.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, welcome. Okay. And I can't pronounce this other name. Come on. Isham Kinney. Sherry. All right, there we are. Isham Kinney. Isham Kinney. Can you help me with the pronunciation? Or maybe Todd, you can. Okay. Noreen, hello.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And we've got Galaxy Tab A. Wow. Okay.
I'm Gail.
Gail. Okay. Okay. If you want to change your name, you can while you're on there. Todd can help you if you're not sure how to.
I'm not quite sure how.
If you just put your cursor over your name, it will give you an option. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll remember it's Gail after that. Okay. And Carol, hello. Hey, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm there. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Are you going to put your camera on or not?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, that's fun.
Sometime when I'm having a good hair day, I might.
Okay, put a hat on and put your camera on.
It's also the etc. behind me.
Okay.
So I have to learn how to do those fake backgrounds.
Yeah, those virtual backgrounds. Come to the Zoom basic class. There are a lot of guides doing the Zoom basic class. I do a more advanced Zoom class, and we also touch on it there as well. So,
okay.
When is that? When would you be offering that class?
You will have to look at if you go to the getsetup.io and just type my name in, as you can see on the screen now, Michael Plumstead. The schedules have only just gone up, so I haven't had a chance to look at them for the week. And but they only put 1 week in advance, and they usually do it on Sunday night. And I'm on Monday already. Okay, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay. Okay, there. Are you getting there, Gail? Galaxy? Okay, just try. Todd, won't you help the Galaxy tab change your name? Just hover over your tab, over your name, and you should have options, and you click on the options.
Not getting any options.
Okay, just look at the chat page. Todd has sent you something there, I think. Todd is our technical assistant for just this reason, changing names or helping with videos or putting cameras on. But of course, he can't change your hairstyle. Okay, so
That was for me, I'm sure.
I'm a naughty boy. I'm a naughty boy.
That's okay. I taught high schoolers for 33 years. And if you don't have a sense of humor, you're dead.
That's a long time to teach high schoolers.
Yeah, but it was fun. I still connect with a lot of them.
That's great. I'm sure it won't leave your system that. Yeah, my wife taught for 45 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What grade level?
Well, all the way through, but mostly primary school, all
Okay.
levels of primary school. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she taught adults too, and now she's teaching Get Set Up classes. Okay.
Oh, well, good for her.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a principal of adult education for a few years too.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's exciting because you'll have something in common. You must go to her classes. She does creative classes, you know, upcycling and making things for grandchildren and things like that.
Well, see, my students wanted me to get married, and I said, no, I have you guys, and I go home to the dog.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, we've got a few more coming. Oh, Gail, you've got it right. Well done.
I
Hello.
finally did it. I figured it out.
Oh, that's great. Christine, hello. Welcome. Yes, nice to see you. And Marilyn, welcome. Marilyn 54, is that your age, Marilyn? Or is that just a number, random number?
No, it's my address for a different class.
Okay, I'm being naughty again. You can see that, Carol. Okay, yeah. Okay, so welcome to all of you. And I'm going to share my slide now. And please, you can leave your microphones on and chat, or if you want to concentrate, you can turn them off and have your notebook ready or your scrap of paper and a pencil. Okay. All right, let me share what
instead, Michael, I have another computer and I type as fast as you can talk. So I'm recording all the notes.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that's great. Okay. But there are also other moments that you're going to record in this class, as you'll hear as we move forward. And those are those things that I don't say, the things that don't come up on the screen, but your subconscious feeds you with it and you get an aha moment. Okay. That's when you probably need a pen and paper. Okay. So this class, as you know, is part one of a 5-part series that continues through for the next 5 consecutive days at the same time. Okay. And so we're going to be working with what you see on your screen now. We get in the series, work with your purpose in life. So each aspect is another step forward once you've, in this class, discovered your purpose and idea. Okay, so and probably it is still a relatively new. We've only been running it a couple of times so far. So we need your feedback at the end to see how we move forward and suggestions that we move forward. So I see there are quite a few people that I've never met before in my classes. And so as is customary, I introduce myself. My name is Michael Plumstead, and I live in Perth, Western Australia. And my time is just 10 minutes past 9 a.m. on Monday morning. So very different to you. So where do you all live? All in the United States at different time zones? Just give me something.
Eastern Time, South Carolina.
Okay.
Seattle, Washington, West Coast of the United States.
Okay. And your time there now?
It is 6:10 p.m.
Okay. That's still a respectable hour.
Yes.
9:10 here in South Carolina, United States.
Okay. Okay.
I'm Gail. I'm in North Carolina, Eastern Time.
Okay.
And
Virginia,
Carolyn,
Eastern Time.
California.
Okay.
I live in Philadelphia, 9:10.
Okay. Okay.
9:10.
Chicago is 8:10 p.m.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the summer changes for you, the time zones, quite a lot. It's interesting. Thanks for sharing that, because the maximum what I heard was that you're on 9 p.m. and others were 8 and others were 7 and one was 6. So it's whereas when you were in winter, then it was the hours were very different compared to Perth in Western Australia. So great to have you all at a respectable hour in your time zone. And yeah, so my background is business, author, researcher, trainer. I've started many businesses in my life. I've been CEO of a public company. And so I've done manufacturing, I've done affiliate type work, virtually nothing that over the number of years that I've covered things. I am now 72 years old and I'm looking for another career for the next 30 years, okay? And I'm serious, Sherry.
Oh, ditto. I'm 72 as well.
Well, join me then. Okay, so I'm hoping that the Get Set Up is going to be that career as we move forward, because I love being in class. I love interacting and training and so forth. And I particularly like the type of class we're in now, which is a little bit business, a little bit philosophical, and certainly a lot of purpose. And so that's who I am. And in the agenda, we're going to be covering what you can see on the screen right now. And by the way, at any time when I say you can see on the screen and you can't see on the screen, please just shout. I can't see what you're saying. That's fine. Then we just need to share again, because sometimes Zoom just drops out and on the sharing side. Okay, and I share with something that they're testing too, which is called a portion screen. So it could drop out. But okay, I'm not going to talk now through the agenda, because this particular slide is what it's all about. Okay, this is really what it's all about. The purpose of life is a life with purpose. Everybody starts with a purpose, maybe in the early lives, and they then teach for the next 30 years in a high school. And that was their purpose, and they loved it and they did it. Then you reach this age, and now these senior years, where, yeah, as seniors, we have a purpose, a global purpose, to move society forward to a more creative type of society, a more caring type of society. But that's an overall joint purpose, and it's my belief anyway. But now you have a purpose, or you're going to revisit that purpose, or you're going to reinvent a new purpose based on your past purpose. But everybody exists for a reason. Everybody exists for a reason. And we are meant to contribute to the world at large in our own unique way in our senior years.
Michael, could you have everyone mute, because somebody has some background noise, like a TV or radio going on?
Okay, that's fine. Todd, would you mind just muting everybody? If he's still here or not, I'm not sure if he's not. Otherwise, I will do it. He comes and goes. He's the TA, but there we are. I will do it. And okay, everybody is muted. Now, please, still, you can just hold down your space bar and hold it down and talk to me. That'll unmute your microphone very easily and quickly. or you can touch the screen and unmute it that way as well. You can put up your hand as well. You've got at the bottom of your Zoom screen, you've got not annotations, reactions, and you can click on reactions, and usually there's a hand up. But otherwise, just press the microphone, okay, and we move forward. And so I was saying that our subconscious mind possibly wants us to do something, and possibly has been wanting us to do something since the day we were born, okay? But our logical mind and our parents and our education took us in another direction. Now, in these senior years, this is the time to see if the subconscious mind has something there that is going to be so fulfilling. It's going to make you so happy. It's going to make you jump out of bed in the morning, okay? That something is your purpose, okay? That something is your purpose. And in this process of this class, I don't want you to allow your logical, conscious mind to immediately start judging things that are coming into your mind, because that's what it's designed to do in its own way, is to say, no, you can't do that. You're too old to do that. Don't start a new career. And so, the logical mind then moves forward and cutting you off and say, come on, you were a good teacher now, just carry on teaching, or don't teach something else now. And yet there's something nagging in the background that wanted you to be a geologist, okay, or wanted you to go and serve children in hospice or something like that, okay? So we need to be aware now in stage 1, and I'm putting it into 7 steps, and I recommend that you request a recording afterwards, and don't distract yourself by taking too many notes, unless of course you're recording yourself now, that's fine too. But otherwise request a recording, and then you can go through each step much slower, stop, and maybe do it over 3 or 4 days. And that's also a way to go forward. So our purpose is, and you'll hear me use this word a lot, it's the most famous word in the English language. Why? Okay, so why? Okay, why are we alive right now in May 2021? Okay, we need to find our why. We need to find our purpose. We need to find an idea to take forward as we move forward. So then we have a purpose, and life is not worth living without a purpose. And I read this constantly with people who are in their 80s and 90s. And I use people who are successful in their 90s. In fact, one person I'll use in the next class is 99 years old and been going 10 years with a purpose. Okay, so the age is absolutely irrelevant. Okay, in fact, it's a major benefit, because we've got the wisdom at this age. So think about the purpose. Okay, so this is the first step of 7 steps in this class. Okay, and I start with this step, which is a very broad category. I'll start with a slide, a very broad category, in order to bring up the next slide, and which is more personal. So as you can see on your screen, there are 3 categories of business on the planet today. Just 3. Everything can fit into 3 categories. You either make a product and sell it, like a factory does, or a craftsman or an artist, okay? Or you buy a product and from someone else, and you sell it, okay, like a wholesaler, a retailer, an affiliate program, okay? And the third is you learn a skill and a service, and you sell that, like a doctor, a designer, a tradesman, a lawyer, a nurse, okay, programmer. Okay, so everything fits into those three. Now I want to take you and personalize that step one. Okay, so now we take in that and we say, you are a unique individual, broadly speaking, very broadly speaking. What were you born to do? Okay, so there are the same three categories. Now they just personalized to you. And I know we are a little bit of all three of what you see on your screen now. Okay, but there is one that we need to acknowledge is just that much stronger or inclined than the other. And it can be a process of elimination, or you just know. So the first thing you ask yourself, do I enjoy working with my hands? That's it. It could be yes or no, you know. And then the second one is, I enjoy interacting with people, or I enjoy working by myself, using my head and my skills that I've learned, and maybe sitting in front of a computer without having people around me or interacting via the computer with people. So I want you just to think for a moment. I'll stop sharing in a minute, but I want you to look at that. Now, I know, please don't tell me that you're all three of them. Okay, there is one that is just more you than the other. And the combination will come in later on. We'll use the combination, but select one and write it down. And if you know, let me stop here for a minute. And anybody want to just share if they're absolutely clear about which is their? Yes, thanks, Christine.
Yes, I've been a teacher and actually a career counselor all my life. So I love working with people. I'm actually a Get Set Up guide. So I love teaching, facilitating, listening to people.
Fantastic. I'm so pleased to hear you're a Get Set Up guide. That is marvelous. Okay. And that's why I'm here, Christine, is because I'm also in that second category. If I work with my hands, I usually cut myself or I fall over, or, you know, I'm just not that way inclined. And don't put me alone for the rest of my life, sort of trying to, you know, be a doctor. But anyway, thanks for sharing. Anybody else would like to share?
Well, I like working with people. I taught for 33 years. And I also work with my hands, but basically I enjoy people.
Sorry, just tell me again, Noreen, about working with your hands.
Oh, I enjoy working. I enjoy teaching, but I enjoy cooking too. But basically I enjoy the people part.
The people. So people is definitely your priority. Okay.
Yes, definitely my priority. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. Anybody else want to share? Priscilla or Mary or anyone? Marilyn?
This is Joanne. I enjoy anything military, helping them, assisting them. My father was a Vietnam War veteran, and I had about 12 family members that were veterans, and I am been working with them for over 25 years, and I am dedicated.
Right. So you're also working with people. That's your selection of those three. So
yes.
Yeah. Dan, thanks very much for sharing that. Anybody else like to share? But you don't have to if you haven't yet made up your mind. Okay. Sorry, Gracia, your microphone is off. Okay, or Mary then?
I think I'm also a person who likes to work with people, but not, I don't know. I've worked with I was a teacher for 34 years with young children, and then up to high school age for the last couple of years. And I also worked at a nursing home playing my flutes and having them sing along.
Right.
But I'm not sure. I sometimes prefer working with a smaller group or one-on-one.
Right. Okay. So you've still got a decision to make there, Mary, to answer step one. Okay. You've got, is it just the one-on-one that you like, maybe, with the skills that you've
And
got?
that's, I don't know, I keep running that around, and that's probably not even true, because I like large groups too. I've performed for large groups. I don't know if you call that working with a large group, but
Yeah, but Mary, go through the steps in this class, and you need to get, before you move forward with your plans that you're going to plan, you need to get the step one under your belt, and you need to be clear. So you need to, put the kettle on, make a cup of coffee, put your feet up, sip, and just ask yourself the question, do I prefer, working by myself, or do I prefer working with people? Okay, because hands doesn't seem to come into it. All right. So, and then be clear. And I don't want to make any suggestions either. It must come to you, because you might have changed. You might have had your service with people, and now you're going to want to perhaps work one-on-one, or work with, accounting on your computer by yourself, Okay, all right, no, that's fine. Okay, I can see from your expression. I can't hear you because your mic's off, but I can see from your expression. All right, Marilyn.
Working by myself.
Okay, great. So you're very clear on that. That's super. Okay, this is an important step one in this whole process. Okay, so anybody else want to share at this stage, or I'm quite happy if you want to still think about it. Okay.
Sure, I'll share. I'm sort of in a transitional phase. About 6 years ago, I was in an accident, and it took away all my cognitive, the stuff that I used to be able to do, like numbers. I used to be very logic oriented, very outgoing.
Right.
Now I'm like 180, different. Now I like to work with my hands and do art, which I suck at because I was the kid that always skipped art class.
Right.
I hated it. Now I like it. I used to work with people all the time. I'm not so comfortable now with people. I'm very shy, which is a whole new dynamic. So I'm just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, welcome to the class, and thanks for sharing that. So clearly your answer in that is one, working with my hands. Okay, don't let your logic, as I said at the beginning, say to him, you're no good at that. But it's got nothing to do with your logic. Put your logic out of the way, your conscious mind out of the system. You're now moving into a new dynamic in your senior life. You are going to discover your purpose. I mean, I get goosebumps now when I talk to you because I feel it. So you're going to really find a way to start a whole new purpose in life. And it's going to be based on working with your hands. Okay, so that's your answer. Okay, that's good. Anybody else want to share? All right, let's move on. So if you haven't chosen one, now is the time to not move to step two, okay? Rather spend a day or 2 or 3 working with step one. And the best way is to occupy your conscious mind with something or other, okay? Perhaps you could be reading, or you could be contemplating something. But and your subconscious knows that you want an answer on step one, and you will get that Oprah aha moment in due course, and that's what you must latch on to. Do not judge it, okay? Just write it down. Very, very important. So that is step one. So now step two. The question you ask yourself is, why do I want to work with any idea? Okay, it doesn't matter. Why do I want to work with an idea? What's the reason? Okay, now, it can never, in this class, ever have to do with money. Okay, so put money out the window. This has got nothing to do with money. If you're working on your purpose, and money is a requirement in your life, it will arrive through your purpose, but it's not your purpose. It's not your reason for doing anything. You're not to think about money in this process, okay? So you just ask yourself similar questions, you know, why am I looking for an idea to work with? Okay, yeah. Why do I want to do it? What is my intention? What is my why? So you really, and the answer comes through more through a feeling, okay, when you mention a word. So let's say that you've never done artwork before, but as soon as you mention the word artwork, there's a warm feeling. You're onto it, okay? You're onto it. But part of step 2 is this word intention, because intention or intent is the key foundation for an honest purpose. And you have to have an honest purpose. And that purpose has got to come from the heart. It has to come from the feeling, not from sitting down with Google and paging through lots of purposes and ideas and logic. No, no, no. Okay, you need to work this out on your own. And let me tell you at this point, the class as well, I want you not to share what you're doing in this process of class 1 with anybody, not with your children, not with your grandchildren, not with your spouse. This must become a private endeavor. This is not an endeavor, not a class to discuss with other people. Okay, there will come a time for the discussion. That will come in as we unroll and move forward, but not in this class. This is a private interaction, or an attempt of an interaction between your subconscious mind and yourself. Okay, and you'll be thinking about your preschool days, your primary school days as a primary school individual going to primary school and thinking, I used to work with that all the time. I used to love doing that, you know, and that's the subconscious is bringing back that memory. And so you think, okay, maybe that's, you know, where I'm heading for. So the intention is in the step 2 is very important. It's the starting point. You need to know the why. Why are you looking for a purpose? Why are you looking for something to do? Why are you looking for an idea to take forward? Okay, you must come up with the answer to this step 2, because it has an amazing creative energy. Once you've established it, the why, okay, once you've established the why, boy, it lays down a purposeful growth for success. And the subconscious mind then generates energies through every one of your bodily systems, and you attract certain things, and you think, where on earth did that come from? Okay, it came from your purpose that you laid out with honesty and intent. Okay, and your subconscious mind is nothing the subconscious mind doesn't know and can't do. Okay, but we got to get there. We got to get there. So you need to be authentic in your whole approach. It's important to be honest with yourself in the process of discovering an idea. And it might take you a week or 2. It might take you 5 minutes. It might take you an hour, but allow it. And if it's not coming, okay, then just keep at it. You know, keep on drinking your favorite drink, okay, and just relax and contemplate, or go for a walk in the park thinking about it. You know, why do I want this idea? Why do I want an idea? Why do I want to work with an idea? Okay, this intent is going to induce motivating, creative, sustaining energies in the future. You've got no idea how powerful it is. And so therefore, you know, if you now at the senior age, you know, you're going to be doing this for the next 30 years. Take the time and get it right the first time. So once you know why you want to do it, that will help the purpose to start coming out, okay? But the most important thing is do not share it with anybody. Don't discuss it with anybody. You can talk to yourself somewhere in the garden, but don't. The garden will probably help you. I mean, there's great communication. I love my garden. I love communicating with my garden and my birds in there. Go and ask them, okay? You know, we know that, you know, with all the latest sciences, that we are connected in all ways too. So we can just go out there and talk and find it, okay? So step 2, finally, is get that honest intent from the depths of your heart onto paper. The question that, remember, that you're answering is, why do I want to work with any other area? What is my reason? Okay. What is my reason right now in May 2021? So step 2 is write down your answer to that. I will just stop sharing for a minute to see if there's anything that is not clear. You don't necessarily have to have come up with an answer that quickly in the class. If you have, maybe you arrived with the class already with that, and that's fine too, okay? Then if you want to share it, you're welcome to share it. Or if you want to get clarified, then please, let's ask the question. Yes, sorry, just Christine, just go ahead.
Yes, so I retired 3 years ago and thought that I wouldn't work again. And I've really missed, since I've been a teacher all my life and a counselor. And so when I came across this opportunity, I just thought I'd be volunteering, which I did find 2 volunteer positions. But then with Get Set Up, what I really have learned I've missed is the meaning to my work, because all my work, everything I've done in my careers has provided meaning, because I've always been working with either individuals or groups. So to come back to Get Set Up and as a guide to feel like my work, once again, I have meaning in my life that I really missed.
Fantastic for sharing that. And, you know, I feel the same way as well when, you know, I finished my career. And in fact, I just carried on with my career really until I actually met Get Set Up. And then I realized that this really has meaning for me. And that's what we're talking about in this step, you know, that we're looking for that meaning, okay? And why you want that idea. So thanks for sharing that, but I really urge everybody else as well to find what Christina has just said, and that I've found, and it's there, it's waiting, okay? You've just got to, in a lot of cases, get your ego out of the way, okay? Get your conscious mind out of the way, okay? And get what other people think out of your way, okay? And then you're opening, you're clearing the channels, okay? And anybody else want to share or ask any questions? Sherry, your mic. Sorry, Sherry, your mic. Okay.
This is Marilyn.
Okay, Marilyn first. Sorry, Sherry, hold on. I can see you talking, but your mic's off. All right, Marilyn, carry on.
Oh, so I've been wanting to write our family history, but I'm not sure if that's what we're talking about here, a purpose in life. I've been trying to gather stories and pass it on so that the younger generation knows some of the history, but is that what we're talking about here?
Absolutely could be, Marilyn. There's nothing that doesn't qualify. There's nothing that doesn't qualify. If you feel you have a purpose to research and write down the family history and to share it, then that's a purpose, okay? That's an idea, okay?
Okay.
And
all right.
yeah, And maybe you want to even, find lost family members and the branches that go off. I mean, my cousin, he just loves our family tree, and has taken it all the way back to the castles in Scotland and communicated. And he's the same age as me, and he's still doing it. Okay, it's like his passion. So definitely, it doesn't matter what it is.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so go for it, Marilyn. Keep me advised of how it's going. Anybody else?
I would say to Marilyn, it will be a wonderful gift to pass on to the younger generation, but she might also find that it's a gift to her as well as she's doing it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
You're
Yes, thank you,
welcome.
Carol, for sharing that. I totally agree as well.
It's kind of like when you do,
Okay, this is
you rescue a
Joanne. My
dog.
wife was
Okay.
veteran.
All right, Joanne, carry on.
She
Joanne.
said, I am a daughter of a veteran. What else?
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
Carol?
well, what I found is that most people are oblivious to the seriousness of their position and how they give their lives. And then oftentimes they're not appreciated. And I always tell people, when you see a veteran or anybody in the military, always say thank you for your service. Because, I mean, I don't understand with the United States and how they take things for granted. And like, as I've been working and talking with veterans for over 25 years, and it's the general sentiment, they don't feel appreciated by Americans. And I just want to spread the joy and the word and the seriousness of their sacrifices and the family sacrifices that we have. And, and everybody, and I'm not condemning people for not knowing, but it's just to make them more conscious of how it's not just about Veterans Day and Memorial Day. It's every day.
Yeah.
And if we did not have their protection, only God knows where we'd be. And just to make them feel important and appreciated, and it, so that it catches on for generations, and just to let them know that don't take this entity for granted.
Right. Joan, thanks for sharing that. You clearly have a purpose, an idea, and you have a why. Okay. The why is the important thing, and you've got the why, and so you're really ready to move on to class 2 tomorrow. So, you've got that in there. So thanks very much for sharing that. And Carol, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just, so often when you rescue an animal, they turn around and they actually rescue you, because you then have a purpose, and you got to get out and walk them, and you got to do this and that. And it comes around full circle.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. All right, let's keep moving on, because I want to get through all the steps. And so you have to find a why, remember now, for what you're doing in that step 2. So let's go to step 3. Okay, so in this step, I want you to start creating your own question. I'm going to give you examples of questions and to focus your mind and so forth. But I want you here, because in this process, you're going to find your way towards new ideas, meaning and purpose. Okay, and let it flow. Now, any ideas that you arrived here with, like some of you have shared, okay, I want you just to put them aside for now, just for this class, that's all. And you're going to ask yourself, and remember, I want you to ask these questions yourself, okay? So you're creating your own questions. Don't use mine. I mean, you can if you want to, but that's not the purpose. So, ask yourself now, because you want to now get the what. You've now got the why, but now you want the purpose. You want the idea, okay? You now know why you want an idea in steps prior to this, but now the what. What is it? So you ask questions. You can use the ones that are on the screen if you like, or you can take a screenshot if you want to. But what brings me joy? In other words, what activates, what activities, maybe a better word, what activities make me happy? Okay, what do I love to do? Okay, right, staring you in the face, perhaps. Okay, and you're trying to overthink it. What do I love to do? Okay, what do I find myself doing for hours on end and never get tired? These sort of questions. What makes me come alive? What things have I made? What things have made me feel really excited to get out of bed and do it for the day or whatever it is? In other words, what's giving me meaning? What gives my life meaning and purpose? Who or what do I want to be? Maybe that's where we should be heading in some of our, who or what do I want to be? Ask yourself, am I walking a path in life that is uniquely mine? Okay, that's the $1 million question. Okay, am I walking a path that is uniquely mine? Not what somebody else thinks I should do, what my qualification says I should do, what my logic mind, no. Am I walking my unique path now that I'm a senior? Because I need to be walking my own path, not somebody else's idea, okay? So what am I naturally good at? Could be a question. And maybe it's not relevant. Maybe you're going to still learn the skill. Maybe you really want to paint, but you've never painted in your life, or you think you're no good. So you learn the skill, you take classes because you want to paint. That could be, the what, the purpose, the idea. What comes to me naturally and easily? Think about it. Okay. These are all questions. Sometimes it's as obvious as, what do I spend most of my time on in the day now? And I'm enjoying it. Okay. So remember why you want to do something. We've done that now in step 2. Why? And these answers in step 3 are driven by an innate love and joy. Okay. Love and joy. You are driven to them for a reason. Okay, you must accept that. All right, and they lead you to where you are meant to go. So spend time with them before moving on. All the different what's that you come up with. Okay, then you could have a whole list of what's. You could have a whole page of what's. We're not looking for one what here. Okay. And you can take some of the questions from the page too. So that's step 3. Very broadly, we're talking very broadly here. We don't want to get into any detail at this stage. What will give me meaning? What will give me meaning? And you write your answers down. And you'll have a whole lot of light bulb moments. Okay, and that's what it's meant to do. You jot them down. Okay, and it might take you a few days, and may not. Time is irrelevant in this type of space that we're working in. But if you can't get to it, then you need to give it more time. And but it could well come very quickly, because you've probably been working with your subconscious mind unconsciously all your life. And so you could well be attracting things like, where did that come from? It was great meeting you so unexpectedly. These things come in our lives, and we just need to acknowledge them. We need to observe them. Okay. So that is step 3. You write down your answer and of all the what's that you're going to come to. So now step 4 is broadly, what do I want to do in my new business? Very broadly. And it doesn't have to be a new business. It can be, writing your family history and so on. So it's just what do I want to do, in this aspect. So again, very, very broadly, take a broad view. I don't want specific tasks. Okay, you don't want specific tasks. All we're looking for is a very broad category. And I will, in a moment, give you some examples based on my own life experiences, and do going through this process, because out of this class was actually designed out of my own experience over quite a long time. So look at broad categories now, and say, what category am I in? Am I going to be an author? Do I want to write? Okay. Doesn't matter how you write or where you write or whether you're writing books, blogs, what doesn't matter. Just a broad, I want to write. Or maybe you just want to research and you love researching. And, otherwise you want to be babysitting any age of human being or animals, I want a broad category. You're really good at languages and it comes naturally to you. Maybe, you've always wanted to be a translator, but, otherwise you're really clever. You've been teaching certain subjects for the last 40 years, and now you want to become a consultant to teachers or something like that, okay? A very broad category, not what you're teaching, not in just a broad category. And this is most important. It must come from your heart, not your head, okay? It must be a feeling. It must be a feeling when you look at the categories, and you can go and Google categories if you want to, it's fine. But as soon as you see that category, as soon as you say that category to yourself or aloud, there's a warm, fuzzy feeling that happens around the center of your body. You feel good about it. So you're looking for that feeling, okay? Then you can list all your whats, as we did in the previous steps, and all the possible ideas. You got them all down there, okay, that are now coming into that category. Okay, you now got a category that is a warm feeling, and you're now going to put those whats, eliminate some of them that don't fall into that category, and the others you're going to put into that category. Write them all down. Take a few days and walk around with your notebook. Leave it next to your bed at night. Okay? If you wake up in the middle of the night don't go to the bathroom before you've written down that idea. Okay? And same in the morning, as you are waking, your subconscious can get through to you powerfully before you're actually fully awake. And you come up with all sorts of ideas at that moment. Again, don't even get out of bed. Grab your book and just write, scribble it. Okay. Because of the time you've been to the bathroom and back again, the idea could have been lost. And so that is step 4. Now we're moving on to step 5. And I want you to take your time with step 5. Take a few days if necessary and think about why you want to do what you want to do, okay, in the previous steps now, the one we've just finished, okay, why you want to do what you want to do. Now, we're back to that powerful word, why. Why is essential to your idea and purpose. So now you have selected, you've got a broad category, and you know why you brought the category. Now you need to think about why you want to do what you want to do, because we need to get that category down to something more specific. So we're honing in, we're bringing it down, and the why is where you ask that. For example, with regards to the why, is 2 people intend to donate money to charity. The first one's reason is to get a tax deduction, and the second person wants to assist abandoned children. Okay. Now, the what was the same, but the why was not. Do you see the difference? You see what I'm talking about now with that example. Okay. So come back to that and think about it. Okay. So why is essential to ask yourself at this point. If you have an authentic, motivating why now to live for, you will discover many hows. And the classes as we come tomorrow and the next day and the next day, we'll do the hows. That's not the important. The hows can change and you can try this, try that, but you're not going to change the purpose. You're not going to change the why in this class. Okay. Now, I'm going to share broadly my personal experience, but as an example. Okay, it's just easier to use my own example for no other reasons than, I'm very close to it. And so I really understand it more than taking making up an example. So a broad example of what purpose and why. So when I went through this process, the what purpose, what did I want to do? Okay, I wanted to research, write, and share the information that will benefit individuals. And why? Because I love researching. I just put me in front of, in the old days in a library, or these days in front of Mr. Google, and researching, and discovering new information, and then communicating that information is the one. I love doing that. And it's also brought me to now this Get Set Up class, where this is the community. I do my own research. These are my own classes. Okay. I'm not working on somebody else's class. This is my own class. So I love the researching of it, the doing it, and the presenting of it. Okay. All right. So with step 5, you are now clear about the reason for wanting to work, the type of work, and your reason for that type of work. Okay, that's amazingly big step forward if you get these things. And you can't jump them, you can't move this forward faster if you haven't answered them authentically, honestly. Okay. So now you put it all together, everything that you've jotted down and written down, and the answers you've written down, and you now create a paragraph. Okay, put them all together, add a few more sentences that make sense to bring it together, and you now have an overall purpose with a reason. In other words, you have a mission in life. Okay, at this point when you're writing it, you should feel an excitement in your stomach, and you get. If you don't, then perhaps there's somewhere that you've gone too quickly past, or you've allowed your conscious mind to slip in an idea which didn't actually come from your subconscious. Okay, so you should be feeling excited about it. You should be feeling excited about wanting to get started. Okay, so now in step 6, there's a little more detail, just a little bit more detail, in order to take us forward to perhaps the next class. But now comes a little bit more detail. So now you take your what, the broad category you've now decided on, okay, and you start thinking and researching with Mr. Google, and bring it down to a more specific category. Okay, you now, I'm saying more specifically, you've got the category. Now you want to make the category smaller, a smaller category. You now want to become more knowledgeable in more specific, a more specific category. Okay, so let's look at the example again to help. So we are down to the detail of the what, the specific product now. Okay, we're looking at the what. Okay, so first of all, remember the example I used. The what was I wanted to be a researcher and a writer. Okay, and that broad category purpose was to research, write, and share. Then I brought it into a smaller category from the bigger category. Smaller category purpose was I wanted to research, write, and share alternative health treatments. Okay, so I've taken the research and write. Now I'm getting a little bit more specific about what I want to research, write. And then I brought it down even more. Okay, so now I'm saying, what do I want to research, write, share? Alternative health treatment, but what alternative health treatments? Okay, because there are millions of them. And I came up with for nervous system diseases. You see how it's getting smaller and smaller, the researching and writing into alternative health, into nervous system diseases, okay? And then I said, well, where do I start? Okay, and because of my own ill health, that motivated this whole process of doing this. You know, I wanted to deal with specific topics, okay, and start there. That had to do with the nervous system, because I had been in immense pain with my legs and even in a wheelchair for a while. And then I wanted to, you know, move out of that. So I wanted to share that experience. And so I started with MS, and I've always been, because of family history, a little worried about Alzheimer's. It's also to do with the nervous system and peripheral neuropathies, which were most important. So you see how, you know, this step 6, you break it down, 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 down into your product. You've now got a product. I've got a product to write for, okay? I want to research, I'm going to research, you know, whatever, Alzheimer's, you know, and I'm now going to communicate it, which I then did, and so on. So you've now got a product. So finally, in step 7, you want to know the how to launch your purposeful, and we'll do that in class 2, 3, and 4 during this week, okay, and that will come. But in the meantime, like now, before you do those classes or simultaneously, it doesn't matter, take your idea and think how you are going to deliver your detailed tasks, okay? So, you know, for example, going back to my example, I was going to write about Alzheimer's and share it. Now, was I going to share it as a trainer? You know, find a platform that I could not talk about that and as a trainer, or was I going to just be a freelancer? I was going to write for perhaps different companies, or going to blog it. So the different ways, you've got to think about how. And so we deal with this in coming classes. We look at the how, but it's worth thinking about now before that class comes about. And then also create your first product, whatever it is. So make a starting, you know, if you're going to write your family's history, to, you know, sort of lay out, get some ideas on how it's all going to be laid out, get some headings, and or get an opening paragraph, or, you know, just get started. You know, if you're going to, you know, teach people to do their hair, you know, then, you know, get some ideas together, and then what, if you're going to write, then write something, and then sort of share it immediately, you know, and give it away for free. Don't charge anybody. Just, you know, do their hair or write the article, find a place to publish it, and just give it away. You just want to get the feeling. You want to, that feeling is going to grow as you move towards the launch and the hows, which are going to come now in the coming classes. So remember, the purpose of life is a life with purpose. So please, I'm going to end there with that. I will take a few questions now, just after this slide. And I just wanted to introduce you to Liz here at Get Set Up. She does blogs for Get Set Up. She loves to interview people like yourselves, learners, and you know, she'll bring it into one of her blogs and so on. And if you've got any questions about the actual company, or you want, then go to help@getsetup.io. But Liz for information and chat. She'd love to hear from you. All right. So any goodbye questions?
Thank you, Michael. That was very interesting. Really kind of gets me focused on what I'm going to be tossing about in my head.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. Much appreciated. Okay.
Well thought out and organized. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not a lot of people do that in today's world. So bravo to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. Okay. If there are no more questions or comments, then I'm sure I'll see some of you tomorrow. I hope all of you, but let's see how today unrolls and what happens when you're drinking coffee or tea or whatever, okay, and relaxing. Okay, bye. Have a good evening.